Today on Public Eye News, firefighters work to contain a blaze at Houghton Lake. And later, lawsuits challenge the deployment of National Guard troops in Chicago and Illinois.
I will have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Colin Morrison will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Summer Starrett.
And I'm Luke Niddle. This is Public Eye News. As the danger levels for fire increase all throughout the Lower Peninsula, first responders and firefighters continue to mitigate a fire started at Houghton Lake. The blaze has been lit since the 5th and covers approximately 85 acres just outside the Roscommon State Forest area. The risk of fires, especially in the northern part of the Lower Peninsula, has been driven by unseasonably warm temperatures, low humidity, and dry vegetation. According to Michigan Department of Natural Resources Lower Peninsula Resource Protection Manager Jeff Vasher, crews and firefighters have been working tirelessly to suppress the fires and are holding the line to continue containing the fire. To avoid starting any uncontrolled fires, avoid open burning, and use extreme caution when using outdoor heat and spark sources. And Michigan Tech will be expanding their residency halls by over 125,000 square feet and over 500 new beds. The project has been in development since 2023 as part of MTU's Campus Master Plan and will be the first new residence hall since the Hillside Place completed construction in 2010. The renovation also comes with an increasing demand due to enrollment, with MTU's latest enrollment of this semester at just over 1,600 new students. The new addition will increase the size of East Hall by just under 20% and is on the way to earning a gold LEED, also known as Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design certification, awarded to buildings ranging from 60 to 79 points under the maximum number of points.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has announced an update in a multi-state lawsuit against the Department of Justice. Nessel joined a coalition of states in order to protect federal grants, as the Trump administration announced that the Victims of Crime Act's grant money would be inaccessible by the states unless they accede to the Trump administration's extensive immigration priorities. According to Nessel, following the lawsuit, the DOJ has now dropped its plan on imposing the illegal conditions on the nearly $1.4 billion. In response, Nessel and the coalition of states has now filed a new lawsuit and aims to further protect services for crime survivors, as they warn of the dangers of silencing and denying victims based on their immigration status. Along with the lawsuit, the coalition has filed a motion of a preliminary injunction. And a new report outlined by the Michigan Public Service Commission, also known as the MPSC, is estimated to relieve the pockets of Michiganders by up to $1.4 billion. The energy waste reduction programs MPSC implements are aimed at making the state more energy efficient. For example, the state is nearly doubled the electricity sales of Ann Arbor yearly. Additionally, the savings through EWR programs could help delay or even eliminate the need to build new power generators and reduce the rising fuel costs. These programs are also expected to improve health outcomes and strengthen economic security for low-income consumers and communities. MPSC claims that for every dollar spent in 2024 on EWR programs, customers across the state will see $2.40 of benefits. 1 week into the government shutdown, and the impact is starting to be seen at the airport. National Airspace Operations flagged 12 air traffic control facilities as having concerningly low staffing and resulted to significant delays. Meanwhile, in Washington, the two parties can't even agree on if negotiations to the end of the shutdown are even taking place. Natalie Brandt has more details from the White House.
The shutdown is snarling air travel nationwide, with staffing issues reported in several airports coast to coast Monday night.
The controllers yesterday were saying, we actually have to think about working 6 days a week, and then do I go out and take an Uber job and try to make extra money to put the food on the table?
The most glaring example, no staff inside the air traffic control tower at the Hollywood Burbank Airport.
Clearance is closed, ground's closed, local's closed, the tower is closed due to staffing. So you just contact SoCal on the 800 number in the green book for your clearance. Transportation
Secretary Sean Duffy says the department is slowing air travel in areas hit by staffing shortages to ensure the airspace is safe.
The real-world impacts could pressure the White House and lawmakers to find a way out of the shutdown. President Trump has said he's happy to work with Democrats on health care, but wants them to reopen the government first.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said last night the president has not talked to Democrats.
It should be clear to Republicans that we cannot go forward unless they sit down and seriously negotiate with Democrats to address the health care crisis. It's that simple.
Senators are expected to hold additional votes on the same spending bills to reopen the government that have now failed to pass 5 times. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The motion is entered.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with weather and regional news after this break.
It's tough because my mom and dad are poor.
We lost our whole house and everything.
We can't afford to pay our bills.
Oh, wow, I'm gonna be a mom.
Being born poor can start off rough. It can be a difficult process because you limited opportunities.
The last thing that I want is for my kids to worry about what we're gonna have for dinner.
What can I do today to make myself better for tomorrow? When the future does come, I'm ready, and I'll be able to make it happen.
Premieres Tuesday, October 7th, 10, 9 Central, only on PBS.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Summer Sterrett, ready to deliver your weather report. Let's take a look at our campus rooftop cam. It's really nice outside. I'm enjoying our kind of extended summer here. Taking a look at our Upper Peninsula map, up in Houghton, it's going to be 55 and sunny. Down in Ironwood, 53 and also sunny. Iron Mountain carrying those same conditions, but up to 60. Menominee, 63 with partly sunny conditions on the other side of our map. Escanaba, 63 and sunny. Manistee, 63 and with some partial sun. Sault Ste. Marie is going to be 61 and sunny. And back here in Marquette, it's 59 and sunny. Taking a deeper look into those conditions, it's going to be, our winds are going to be northwest at 5 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.05 inches and falling. Taking a look at tonight, it's going to be mostly clear with some possible showers, a low of 38, and our winds are going to be north at up to 15 miles per hour. And our moon phase tonight is actually a full moon. Looking ahead into tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 54, a low of 41, and our winds are going to be northwest at 5 miles per hour. Looking towards our end of the weekend here, Thursday is going to be a high of 62 and a low of 49 with lots of sun. Friday, high of 63, a low of 48 with some possible showers. And Saturday, a high of 64 and a low of 52 with partly sunny conditions. That's all I have for weather. Back to the desk.
Thank you for that weather report, Summer. I certainly have been enjoying those clear skies, though that may be coming to an end with all those clouds rolling in. Going now to some statewide news, or regional news, excuse me. The Wisconsin Department of Justice has requested that a judge hold an order requiring over 3.5 million registered Wisconsin voters to be re-verified before February statewide elections. In August of 2024, a lawsuit was filed due to the belief that change is needed in how the state of Wisconsin holds elections. It's argued that the Wisconsin Elections Commission and the Department of Transportation should be required to verify the legitimacy of all applicants registering to vote, and thus are neglecting investigation of unlawful voter registration. The DOJ counter-argued that they have no obligation under state law to share and match data to remove non-state voters from the list. Waukesha County Circuit Judge Michael Maxwell ruled that the Election Commission's is, quote, failing in the most basic task of ensuring that only lawful voters make it to the voter roll from where lawful votes are cast, end quote. Also in the judiciary, Illinois and Chicago leaders filed a lawsuit Monday against President Donald Trump and his administration to stop the deployment of National Guard troops in Chicago. The filing comes as a judge blocked President Trump from sending troops to Portland, Oregon, and alleges that advances on the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois are unlawful and dangerous. Amid an upcoming court date this Thursday, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker stated that President Trump is, quote, using our service members as political props and as pawns in his illegal effort to militarize our nation's cities, end quote. Pritzker also stated that around 300 troops from the state's Guard troops would be sent to Chicago, with another 400 or so arriving as reinforcements from Texas. And the Supreme Court's new term will focus heavily on the Trump administration's agenda. But today, the justices will look at a Colorado law banning so-called quote-unquote conversion therapy for minors. The leading medical associations say this therapy can hurt young people, but critics say the law limits what therapists can discuss with kids about gender and sexuality. Jan Crawford is at the Supreme Court.
The state is imposing their values on these kids.
Kaylee Childs is a licensed faith-based therapist who says her practice changed 5 years ago after Colorado put limits on what counselors could discuss with clients under 18 years old about gender identity and sexuality.
The law basically restricts the speech between me and my client. If your daughter were to say, I think I'm a boy, we can only affirm and validate that and assist with gender transition.
Colorado is among nearly 20 states that prohibit what's called conversion therapy for minors, or as the law puts it, any practice or treatment that attempts or purports to change an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity. Childs says it violates her free speech, and the issue has divided the lower courts. Colorado says it isn't targeting speech, but instead setting standards of conduct for health professionals.
They have a duty to make sure that they're following ethics and make sure they're following actual scientific practices.
Curtis Lopez Galloway has worked to pass similar laws in other states and says they protect kids.
So I went to conversion therapy when I was 16.
What was the purpose of the therapy?
It was to make me straight. It was a very, very dark time. There was a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety.
Childs says the fight over this law is much broader than that.
We as counselors know that we should not be imposing our values on our clients. The problem right now is that Colorado is using me to impose their values on my client.
And this isn't the only case this term touching on transgender rights. The court also will decide whether transgender athletes can participate in girls' sports. That, of course, was a big issue in the presidential campaign. Jan Crawford, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
We'll be back with your sports report after this short break. Stay tuned.
It's time to go to work.
It's the defining event of our history.
This is the story of modern war and how it's changing us.
We've opened the secrets of the universe.
We can do remarkable things together.
We have never wasted our time together.
Be not afraid of greatness!
Mission accomplished.
Welcome back. I'm Colin Morrison, here to deliver your Public Eye Sports Report. We start today's broadcast with the Detroit Tigers, who play their third game in the divisional best-of-5 series against the Seattle Mariners. The series is currently tied at 1-1, and the Tigers look to win at home after 5 straight away games. The biggest concern for the Tigers is their batting and scoring, as they have struck out 59 times and have a .186 batting average, ranking among the worst in scoring this postseason. After losing their previous game despite Tarek Skubal pitching, Detroit looks to win with Jack Flaherty at the mound today. Seattle must deal with some unexpected losses, however, as first baseman Josh Naylor may miss the game due to personal matters. It is up to Detroit's passionate fans to bring home field advantage to Comerica Park during their first home postseason game. The game has been delayed. Moving over to the floorboards, Liesl Haugen has been named GLIAC Volleyball Defensive Player of the Week after an outstanding performance over the weekend. The junior libero stood on her head during a pair of wins Friday and Saturday. Haugen tied her season high in digs with 25 and now averages 4.88 gigs per game, good for 4th in the conference. The Cats are now rolling in the GLIAC, chugging right along with a 4-game win streak to improve to 5-9 overall and 4-2 in conference play. Haugen and Northern now prep for a much-anticipated matchup with the Michigan Tech Huskies this Thursday at 6 p.m. Our final story for tonight is our NMU women's golf team, where 3 Wildcats are in the top 25 golfers at the Flyers Fall Invitational. So far, 2 of 3 rounds have been played, and Maddie Martins, Peyton Donnelly, and Abby Pietola are all doing exceptionally well. Martins leads the Wildcats with 14th place, while Donnelly and Pietola are both tied for 20th place. Martins has had a fantastic performance so far, having a 2-round total of plus 16 and 21 pars on 36 holes, and all 3 top 25 contenders all had multiple birdies to their names. This Wildcat team looks to have an equally impressive 3rd round as they compete for the top standings in Lamont, Illinois tonight. That's all I have for sports. Now back to the news desk.
Thank you for that sports update, Colin. Certainly an exciting time to be a Tigers fan, huh, Summer?
I agree. I see that they're doing really well this season.
Absolutely. I'm very excited for this Game 3. Even as a neutral fan here, I can always appreciate a good matchup. You know, the Mariners and the Tigers. You think the Tigers are going to pull this one out?
I sure hope so. I can't say I'm the biggest baseball fan, but I always root for Michigan's teams.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And with that, we're out of time here today on Public Eye News. I'm Luke Niddle.
And I'm Summer Starrett.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.